So my favorite part about being a farmer is, number one, being my own boss, not being tied to the contingencies of that. Number two, it's the variety that we deal with. One time of the year, we're planting and prepping fields and taking care of stuff. And then the next time of year, we're fertilizing, side dressing, you know, taking care of crops that way. And then later in the year, we're harvesting. It never seems like we're doing the same job for a year long at a time or a month at a time. It's we're switching it up all the time. That's kind of what I really enjoy about it. It's always something different. There's always new challenges to face and new things to figure out. I guess what makes our farm unique, and it may not be unique for a broad spectrum agriculture in the United States, but in the Fox Valley region, is we're not a dairy and we don't have cattle. And because that seems like the large majority of farms in this area are a dairy farm or have cattle associated with them some way or another. Us being strictly grain operation with trucking on the side kind of makes us unique in that sense of agriculture. This is my daughter Aubrey, and this is my daughter Hayden. I graduated high school. I was very active in the FFA, very active in 4-H. I knew I wanted to be in agriculture, more than likely end up back home at the farm. So I ended up deciding to go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison Farm and Industry short course. So VanWychen Farm started with my great-grandpa in 1917. We were founded, got passed down to my grandpa, John, and then my uncle Peter and my dad George farmed before my brother and I took over in 2011. So we are a cash grain farm. We run about 2,300 acres. We do a variety of custom harvesting services between planting, spraying, combining, and trucking. So we've got one full-time employee. His name is Jake. He's my best friend since high school. And we have one part-time guy and a few other handful of part-time people that we really appreciate. My daily routine varies upon the season. This time of year we get up and we're doing tillage, getting caught up, trying to finish up for the year. It could entail some book work right away or in the afternoon, but a couple weeks ago it was get up right away, get the combine serviced, get machines serviced and ready to go harvesting throughout the day. In the summertime and later springtime, it mostly consists of getting up and making a circle around and checking our crops and seeing if there's anything that needs to be done out in the fields, whether it be nutrient application, pesticide application, or weeds, or checking for this next coming year for nutrient deficiencies that we didn't catch in time that we want to take care of for next year. Or in the springtime, it's planting, and coming up here in the near future, it's going to be planting for our 2023 crop. So some of the conservation practices we practice, we actually just finished a big project down on one of our fields that had some erosion issues. We did a big basin watershed tiling project. In that one, we practice as much no-till as possible. We plant a fair amount of cover crops. I'm not going to say we plant every acre, but we plant a fair amount of our acres into a cover crop. And yeah, we really try and keep an eye on what we're doing and how we're doing it, make sure we're not messing anything up for years to come, because we've got a long time to farm yet, and hopefully my kids someday want to. Some of the future goals I have for the farm, we definitely like to grow in size a little bit. We always want to become more efficient, more streamlined, keep our cost of production as low as possible while pushing our yields as high as possible. Some advice I'd have for someone getting into farming is, number one, starts on a small scale that you can handle. Secondly, just because somebody did it a certain way for their entire life doesn't mean it'll work for you. Do it your way and do it how you want to do it and how you think it's done best. And another piece of advice I got is, you don't get anywhere in this world without friends. Friends will carry you through the tough times.